Dedicated to talking about all things strange, weird, and paranormal. You're listening to Strange Talk, broadcasting on 1660 AM in Northside and 91.7 FMHG2 WVXU in Cincinnati. We're also streaming at radioartifact.com around the entire planet Earth. The intro track to this episode and most of our episodes is the Strange Talk intro by Star Silk, and I'm your host, Alyx.
And then I am Calla Marie Rowan, the behind the scenes and guest coordinator and social media coordinator for Strange Talk.
You're a co-host tonight. That's fine.
I am a co-host tonight. It's very
co-host
exciting.
Tonight. Yeah. And then we have a very special guest tonight. If you would like to introduce yourself.
And I am a...
Oh, you still there?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. It cut out for a second.
I don't know why.
We've had some technical difficulties. But yeah, if you would like to reintroduce yourself, it is working now. Sorry about that.
State your name and purpose.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hi, my name's Nicole. I'm a sound healer and occultist.
Yeah. And Calla's known you for a while. I am just meeting you. But we just thought you would be a very, very interesting guest because sound healing is like way up our alley here. That's right up in the Strange Talk niche.
Yeah, and then since I've been a practitioner since I was 19, so about 7 years now, and then obviously like I know your work, and I think your work as a sound healer has just been so fascinating to watch unfold, and I just wanted to have you on the show and interview you and ask you a couple questions, such as, what is your first initial experience with magic, Nicole? And just kind of go into more of like your detail about your personal practice.
Sure. Okay. So like first initial experience doing magic or like first magical. Okay. Well, anyways.
Either or both.
Yeah. So my first initial experience was actually kind of spooky.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know you guys like spooky stories. So
We do love a spooky, strange story.
Yes.
All right. So I'm 32 now. So this was when I was 16. So yeah, it's been quite some time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my experience with magic started out when I was 16. I turned 16, and I just like woke up one day and I didn't like my boyfriend, and it was just like this feeling of like just wakefulness where like there's more to just watching football on a Saturday night, or I don't know. I was just feeling something. So I actually just broke up with him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, right. And he was just so dull and just like in the video games, and I had more like questions, like, you know, and we just weren't matching very well. So
have your hobbies, but also like, I don't know, be focused on growth or having like interests that like involve the rest of the world at all.
Yeah. So after that happened, I started seeing the number 11. 11.
Oh.
11, like the sequence.
Yeah.
It's a weird, strange, but incredibly common thing that people apparently have reported as somewhat paranormal. And yeah, so I started seeing this number, like 11, everywhere. Not just like on time, like on the clock or whatever, but like, you know, and receipts and license plates. And it was just weird. It was like I wasn't even like thinking about it, and it would be there, and I'm like, just what is going on with this number? And I just got so frustrated and worded out, and I'm like, okay, like this is happening like a lot. Sorry, my Roomba is gonna go off.
You're good.
No.
Your Roomba just has a couple things to say.
Yeah, the Roomba is like, oh, I'm very intrigued by the number 11 as well.
And so I started seeing it, and I got frustrated, and I looked it up, and I didn't really get the answer that like I know now, that it's like the call to the great work, but basically it was like, oh, you're waking up. It's like this new age kind of definition of like waking up into the world. And so like it reflected a lot of like what I was feeling before, you know, before I broke up with my boyfriend at the time, and seeing that number. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I'm waking up. And so then naturally I just started getting into meditation and chakra work. Like I found some really cool exercises online that were like energetic, opening chakras, and like a lot of like energy kind of work that I just naturally started working with. But then that was going really well, and I was like making energy balls and all this kind of cool stuff. But then I started randomly waking up at 3:33 in the morning.
I had that happen for a while, where I kept waking up at like 3 exactly, where I went, this
Same
is
here.
weird. It creeps me out when that happens.
Yeah, so I started waking up at 3:33 in the morning, and for a while I didn't really think too much about it. There's like this natural thing that happens with the human mind where it just kind of shifts a little bit, and sometimes you can wake up around that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like would wake up at this time, and like gradually I noticed that my energy that I was like working on like so hard with my meditations and my just like the chakra work and you know, stuff like that, like I just started feeling like not energetic at all, like you know, like drained, like
yeah.
completely drained of energy. And so, yeah, that was weird. And then what happened, what woke me up to what actually was happening was I was actually in a dream, and there was a shadowy figure that, you know, pushed me up against the wall and took my energy from my my chi, my center, you know, where the chi sits. So it was like this cool sensation, like going in, and like I could feel it all happening when, you know, in the dream. And I tried to wake myself up. Usually I can control myself through, you know, dreams and wake myself up when they're bad. But for some reason I could not wake up. And And yeah, I was like almost like I was in the state of paralysis, you know. So
I hate sleep paralysis like that.
oh yeah, like who knows?
Worst.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it was a combination or whatever. But this is like where it gets kind of spooky.
Yeah. Well, the number coincidence is already pretty spooky.
Yeah, and then on top
Yeah.
of having a shadow demon push you against a wall in your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a casual Tuesday
A
thing.
might bit spooky.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So like it was like taking my energy, and then somehow I was thinking in my dream because I was raised Catholic.
Mhm.
So I knew the angel. So I was thinking in my dream of the name Michael, and in that moment of just even thinking the name Michael, the angel, it almost like pushed back a little bit, and then I was able to, like, the little bit of breath that I had, I was able to actually like scream for the angel Michael. And yeah, so I called him in my dream, and then everything was just on fire. All around me, there was just fire like everywhere. And then I woke up.
Oh gosh.
Guess what time I woke up at?
3:33 maybe? Just a
Yeah.
wild guess.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, I woke up at 3:33.
And you said you were 16
immediately-
when this happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this was my first experience with the spooky,
Ooh,
the spooky.
which led me, yeah,
the spooky. Yes, the spookening.
yeah. That was my first experience with the paranormal. So I immediately started when I noticed the clock. I immediately started praying to Michael, like, consciously. And he came in like immediately. I felt him right there, and he was like, Nicole, you are like incredibly special. Like, your light is incredibly bright, and you need to protect yourself. You need to learn how to protect yourself. And I'm like, what the heck does that even mean? Like, protect myself from what? And then obviously I was like, oh, duh.
Now you know.
And yeah. So while that was happening, while he was telling me this, I was also like praying to Raphael. And I was, as I was praying, like, I could feel the heat returning to my body, like, because when I woke up, it felt like the physical sensation, like I brought it out with me. Like, it was really creepy.
Yeah, that's really, really spooky. Like, as far as ways to first experience that's a really intense first experience.
Yeah, especially with the paranormal. And then I know that you and I've talked about that. That was your introduction, and then you started developing your ceremonial magic background, right?
Oh, did we lose you again?
Me?
Oh, there
Hello?
you go. Yeah. There you go.
Oh my god, my earbud like dropped down. Oh my god, that's so annoying. I'm sorry.
No. And we can also edit it out. So here, let me ask the question again. So that experience kind of was the catalyst for you starting your own magical practice to protect yourself, but then your ceremonial magic background as well, right?
Yeah. So after that experience, I went online and I came across the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. And
classic LBRP.
Yeah. And I really liked it because, like, it had the angels, and I was like, sweet. Like, I prayed to like 2 of these angels last night. Like, I'm good. I really liked how that was. And it, so my intuition was like, do this first, do the LBRP first.
Yeah.
And then I found this like exorcism ritual with seawater, and then like I also like incorporated like this fiery light that was like pulsing through me after the LBRP. Like it was like this like fire. Like it. Okay, so actually, you guys want to know what happened?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god! So this gets even creepier.
Oh.
Okay. This is.
Well, welcome to Strange Talk.
All things strange, weird, and paranormal. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, so I was like doing this research and like coming up with like a ritualistic plan to like, you know, get rid of this thing. I had my friend Liz, I called her, I'm like, and it was also like a Friday. I'm like, hey, you want to come over? You know, all the, like how I was like saying, like, I kept waking up at this time. Like, I know what's happening. I think it's like an entity. And she's like, a what? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's an entity. And she's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, look, I don't really need your like spiritual help or anything, but like, it would be great to just have you there in case like something really, really bad happens. There's a priest like next door, like across the street, and he may be really confused, but who knows? Maybe he can help.
You're already in that, like in that alone. That's why you're surviving the horror movie. Most people are like, I got this. And I'm like, you're going to die.
No,
you are going to die or end up possessed.
Yep. And like I've told you, Nicole, I've had a similar experience with my apartment when I was 17, and I absolutely called everybody that I knew that would believe me to be like, this is happening and I'm salting my windowsills, and if something happens, this is what's happening. So I'm glad you had that with Liz too.
To be fair, I also probably wouldn't survive because I'm like, I'm going to go investigate it. And I'm like, that's how you die. I'm like,
you phone a friend.
I'm taking my salt and I'm investigating it.
No, you phone a friend and salt the windows.
I'm taking my salt and investigating it. And also I brought a baseball bat.
You phone your friend. You phone your friend.
That would be the correct answer. But I'm always like, I have to confirm it's something before I get like anybody involved, where I'm like, let me make sure there's something and I'm not just really tired.
I'm just glad you called Liz. So after you called Liz and told Ed about the priest, what happened next, Nicole?
So she comes over and I'm showing her like my plan, my ritualistic plan. And it wasn't even that late at night. And we're like sitting at the computer and we're just like hanging out, kind of joking, like we're joking right now and talking and kind of like lightheartedly. And then the room, it was a horror movie. Okay. The room just dropped like 5-10 degrees. And
I don't like that.
Yeah, I hate that. I've been there.
Yeah, so that happened, and then while like the stuff was in queue for print, the light started to flicker, and that was really weird. But like the light stayed on, but it was just kind of cold. And but then okay, so that the third thing that happened again with the number 3. Was my cat at the time, Callie. She was upstairs and she came like down into like the middle of the stairs and let off this god awful yowl. I've never heard a cat make this sound in my life, even when they're fighting and like it was just like an otherworldly yowling sound. So anyways, I don't think it was my cat, but it might have been. So
it's better to think it is your cat, honestly, in this situation.
I've never heard her make that sound, and she never made it after that. So it was just okay. So I went over to the stairs, and Liz she got up right behind me, and when I went over to her to the stairs, and I'm like, what's up, Callie? And she's looking up at the ceiling, and I look up and I see it with my own 2 eyes. I see this thing go from over my head. It was behind me, and then it went over my head, and then it chased my cat up the stairs. And that's when the fiery magic of the gods came running through me, because I was like, "You're not gonna hurt my cat. What the heck? No."
It's the pet friend override there.
Yeah. So I turn around, and my friend that once, we had our, her cheeks were filled with warmth, and we were talking and laughing. I turn around, and all of the color from her face is just completely dropped. And I'm like, "Did you see that?" And she was like, "Uh-huh. It was behind you, and it looked like I'm scared."
Oh,
And she's like, "Nicole, I will go with you into every single room of your house, but I will not go into the basement."
Fair.
And I'm like,
you never go into the basement. That's the second rule of how you survive horror movies. Never go in the basement.
Okay, well, you know what? I had to go into the basement.
Well, you had to, but your friend was smart to not go in the basement.
Your friend was like, "I'm the backup."
Yeah, she didn't have to go.
It was something that you had to face.
Yeah, basically. So what I did was I started in my room. I did the LBRP and called on the angels. I prayed with them and envisioned myself protected in fiery light. And then I went through the house cleansing the house with this ritual, as well as envisioning the fire that I saw in my dream, the fires of Michael cleanse that. Cleansing every part of the house. So that happened. And then everything seemed pretty good. For the majority of the house seemed really good. But then I got to the point where I had to go into the basement. And so I went into the basement, and I had it pinned down in there. And as I descended, I envisioned the light going in and piercing the darkness. And so I went down into it, and, there was only a light, one or two lights on, and it was this stone basement. And, there was a part that was really, really dark. And I went into the darkest spot and, called all the names of God and, banished it there in the basement by myself. I mean, well, I wasn't really by myself. I was with the angels too. But after that, the house got a lot lighter, and I didn't wake up at 3:33 ever again. So, yeah. So that happened. That was my
kind of cool
first
that
experience.
It at least stopped you from waking up at 3:33. But I hate
literally
that you had to go through how
baptism
that was
by
first.
Fire, though.
Yeah. Goodness.
Bless the Saint Michael.
Yeah.
Well, obviously growing up Catholic and then starting to dive into ceremonial magic, but then you created your own relationship with Hekate and Artemis. So I performed the initiation ritual that you wrote about Artemis.
You did that yesterday.
I did do that yesterday. It was the wolf moon. Awoo.
Awoo.
Awoo. Here,
I
let's
was
all
trying to figure out what the awoo was. All right. Are we counting down?
Yeah, let's all do it together, okay? 3, 2, 1.
2. Oh!
You're welcome to my neighbors.
Yes. But explain the rituals that you wrote to honor the goddess Artemis, and then it kind of explain your relationship with Artemis.
Yeah. Okay. So, as you know, but probably not any of our listeners, but so I'm into archery, and
Nice.
I have been doing it for 13 years now. But I never really I never was really into her. And and how I found her was actually through Hekate. And
Interesting.
so it was actually a night, new moon night, and I was like, talking with the spirits, and I heard Hekate say, like, like you're really good with archery. I want you to seek out Artemis. You need to seek out Artemis. Like this is your next
That's
thing that
really
you need to
cool.
do. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I'll seek her out. And anyways, so the way that I did it was I figured out that she's a goddess of music as well as dance, as well as her brother, and she leads the graces out to dance.
Yes.
She's like considered one of the finest dancers. Like, I was like, well, what if I start this dance ritual to her, to like entice her into my life. And it seemed to really be like really helpful, learning with her. Like she started like showing up like at the range with me like after the first
After
initiation.
the first, like, dance you did.
That's so
super cool.
Like for example, like there would be like 3 deer at the target number 3.
Yeah.
Or there would be like I would do like a ritual to her and like be doing like the shape shifting into a serpent through the new moon, and then I would see like a snake the next day at the range. And so she would like communicate to me through nature. So especially when I would shoot, before I lived up in like northern Seattle, I lived closer towards like the Cascade area, and it was more like farmland, and so I had a lot of area to kind of shoot. I just shot off a deck, and like one day I was just shooting my bow, and I see like I had these 2 deer that would visit me, and because like I fed them apples.
This is the most Artemis thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, no. Like, my life is like a Disney story. It's weird.
Which just for the listeners who are not familiar with this, Artemis is associated with like the hunt, and so very much with like deer and snakes and like any creature you could possibly find in the woods. That's Artemis, especially if you're feeding them apples.
Yeah. So I had these 2 deer, and they would just like kind of hang out in the yard, and they were both male, but they would hang out in the yard, and I would just shoot, and they'd be like in the yard and just be like chilling, like, hey, like, I'm not afraid of you. And so I saw my deer running up the driveway, and they were like running, and I'm like, why are they running like that? And right behind them was a black dog. And so, oh my God,
whenever I hear black dog, I'm immediately like, oh, like a grim. Oh.
Yeah. So the black dog was chasing the deer, and I make eye contact with the deer, or the dog. Sorry, there's a delivery.
There was a deer. There was a
going
dog.
on.
There's a lot of creatures happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of animals here.
Yeah,
there's a delivery at the door right now, but my husband's got it.
Hey, good husband.
That's
good
three Ds.
Yeah,
we got the deer, the dog, the delivery.
So this is like so triple the D.
Yeah.
Okay, so
amazing.
So like I'm just like, I make eye contact with the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And like I went down to the end of the target where the target was, and I look off and I'm like, hey, and I made eye contact it and I pointed at it and I'm like, you go home now. And that dog stopped like directly in its tracks, like trying to chase this deer, and it went straight home. And I'm like,
oh my gosh,
holy cow. I don't even know this. The dog doesn't even know me, but yeah.
You just reminded me of a story. This is a very quick story. It's the only reason I'm interrupting you. Where I used to live when I first moved to Lexington, I once saw this dog running down the street, and it was the day that I got my first binder in the mail, so I had put it on, and I saw a dog loose in the street, so I sprinted off trying to catch this dog because I was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna get hit, and this dog got just barely clipped by a car, but in a way, because this dog was like a pit bull, it was like meatball dog, and so I ran up, and she was like limping because her paw got clipped. Turns out it didn't actually hurt her, she was just like, oh, but when I walked up to her, and I grabbed her tag because I was like, where do you live? I literally went, where do you live? And I saw that the tag said Artemis.
Oh my God.
And I went to flip it over while I asked, where do you live? And she just started walking, and I followed her, and she walked me to her house where I was able to knock on the door to get her owners to come get her.
That's amazing.
And that's the only reason I remember where I went, I just remembered that dog's name was Artemis. And I was like, please keep your dog out of this. And they went, oh, we had let her in the backyard, not realizing the back gate was open. I went, oh, whew. Very glad she did get clipped by a car, but like she walked home like normal. Like she was like limping for a second, and then when I asked where do you live, she just went and just walked home. I went, are you messing? I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna take you home. You're showing me where home is. I'm gonna follow you. Yeah, you just reminded me of that because I hadn't remembered until now that her name was Artemis.
I love that you have that story, Alyx. And then so Alyx knows this. As you said, Nicole, that everything about this is very Disney princess.
You are the Disney princess. I am not.
My mother growing up always joked that I was blessed by St. Francis because stray animals come and find me.
They do.
That happens all the time. Alyx has been there for 4 different animals. The Humane Society knows my address.
They probably have you on a list and think that you're like kidnapping animals.
They had to verify our address last time I went to make sure it was accurate. They're like, oh, just to make sure for our records, this is your address. And I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, you're going to return people's dogs. No, and they were like, oh, you're going to return this dog to their owners so we don't have to. And I was like, yeah, I will. I will. Oreo's going to hang in the back of my car right now, drooling all over my dashboard. My brand new car. Oreo will hang out. But I love that you were like, go home right now.
And that's what reminded me of
the mother bear telling the dog to go home.
Artemis, I asked her, I was like, where do you live? And she took me home. And that's when I went, oh my gosh, her name was Artemis. And I had forgotten until just now.
I love the synchronicity of that. Yeah. That's amazing.
Which was also amazing.
So cool.
Like I said, I had gotten my first binder in. So I was sprinting down the street after this dog. I could not breathe. I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, take me home. Where do you live?
So it seems like after Hekate introduced you to Artemis, that the appearances of Artemis's powers or energy was very much around you, Nicole.
Yeah, and it would always be through nature and through animals. And there was like this other instance where I was out on the range and I had a bullseye and like a dead center in the middle of this bird target, and a hummingbird just comes out of nowhere and lands on my arrow. Okay.
What?
No, yeah, no.
Like a
really.
hummingbird, because like they tend to like. The reason I'm like, what is because like they tend to hover. They don't land a whole lot.
Yeah, no, it landed on my arrow, and it, like maybe it was attracted to the feather because like I had a barred feather with green and white. Maybe it liked that, but yeah, like so I would get all these kind of signs. from her through nature and be like, hey, I want a sign. Should I do this ritual or should I write this ritual? And then I'd get like 3 deer at the number 3 and the target and a hummingbird landing on my arrows. And like at full draw, at full draw one time, there was a hummingbird while I was shooting as well. And yeah, like being able to like, just like tell that dog just to go home in from a dead sprint, to a stop, so
Yeah,
anyways,
that's genuinely wild. Any animal actually listening, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You listened.
Well, I think what's interesting too is because, like, and you and I've talked about this, Nicole, with our friendship of like you being a patron of Artemis and then me being Apollo. So my introduction to Apollo was after I had a spiritual cleansing, and then I was like, kept receiving dreams of very sun energy, of soul, of so many different symbols that just resonated with Apollo. And then the next day I woke up from after like so many sun imagery dreams. I was like, okay, Apollo, if you want me to be a patron of you, give me another sign. And I walked out of my apartment complex at the time, and immediately a hawk swoops right over my head.
Ooh.
And I was like, okay, I'm listening. And that's where I started. So when you and I started talking, and, I've had a lot of troubles with my own personal femininity, because I think I just always viewed femininity as associated with being weak, and I wanted to be anything but weak. But as I started reading up about Artemis, it was like, that's what animals do, is that they hide their weaknesses to hide their vulnerability. And that's what young girls do. And that's why she's the protector of young girls.
Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, because
Yes.
that's why I love her association with animals of the hunt.
Yes.
Because they're also vulnerable.
Yeah. And
I like that.
And it was very interesting because Nicole, as she hasn't published to the listeners that are here, thank you for being here. Nicole has been very kind and sent me the ritual that she wrote, and I did it last night during the full moon, and it was the first moon of the new year, and it was the wolf moon, and I thought it was very appropriate, and it was a very interesting experience. I lit my candle to Apollo and asked him to bless the ritual, so I could learn from his older sister the knowledge that she needed to share to me. And I think as I've been dieting on my journey with Aphrodite and other feminine deities, is how powerful femininity can be.
The feminine divine.
Yes. And it's a very fascinating journey, because it's like femininity is anything but weak. And Artemis, what she taught me last night after conducting the ritual that Nicole wrote, is that while it's carefree and like a doe bouncing through the wild, it can be straight like an arrow, very strategic, very focused, and so deadly.
Well, it's the baby deer going through the forest, but it's also the black dog.
Yes.
And it'll bite as well. And I like that dichotomy of light and dark, which is funny because it's the whole balance between Apollo and Artemis.
And then I think too, with Artemis being of the moon, there's so many different seasons and phases of the moon. And then as Nicole, as you spoke with me, this was the ritual that you sent me is the first ritual that you were planning to write, but the other rituals that you want to write are inspired by the different phases of the moon. Would you like to go into that, or do you want to hold off?
Yeah.
Until
I mean, so basically, I have the initiation ritual, and then my idea is that there's 3 main rituals besides the initiation, and the 3 that I have are based off of the waning crescent moon. So like a waning, like that small sliver right before the new moon is the waning crescent bow moon. And for that, it can be used for like seeking justice, healing, hexes, curses. But yeah, so that's my idea, is like for like the waning moon, I have kind of those aspects of the ritual. And then like for a the waxing full moon, that is more for obtaining your desires or hunting for your desires. Like if you wanted to like call on the wolf, the spirit medicine of the wolf into your dance, you could like dance in a wolf like way, like
Yes.
you know, and to invoke those certain qualities of the wolf to help you with your path. And so like that's, you know, kind of where I'm going with it. And like the full moon is for like divination work, as well as just like being just ecstatically in her, you know, like just within her and just experiencing her. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm definitely taking my time with it. Like it's not something that I feel rushed to do, but this is something that she has been wanting me to write and express. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we love when you get a little divine intervention, being like, "You're doing this now," and you're like, "Do I have to?" And you're like, "Okay, well, okay,
yeah.
I'm not gonna fight with you because that seems like a bad idea."
Yeah, and that's and I've been there too, and as I've talked to you too about like with Apollo, and I think you and I both expressed that there's not a whole lot of occult documentation about Apollo and Artemis, and that like it's been great looking at like the mythology and like the other research done about Apollo and Artemis, but then it's like, where are the rituals though? And so it's great.
They're too busy focusing on like the balance between the two, and they're like, this is so cool. Like, look at how they had the sun and the moon.
But
like
then I'm like, I want the research.
Yeah, but then they're like, we didn't write the rituals though because we're too focused on like how cool this is.
Yeah, and so I'm very happy that you are diving into that, and that, you know, even though you're taking your time on that, which just shows your dedication to the goddess and sharing her knowledge. But I would love to know more about your sound healing practice.
Oh yeah, sound healing.
So,
that was what we were going to talk about, and we're so easily distracted because you have so much interesting stuff to say.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to have you back on again.
Yeah, because we have
more in depth.
So many more questions, and we're already 42 minutes in,
and we've gotten through our first two questions, which is great. But tell us about the basics of sound healing,
because I know nothing about sound healing actually.
Do you guys want to know how I got into it first? Or
sure, yeah.
Okay, so it actually started with a petition to Hekate. And this was before I had healing with my shoulder. So I was suffering from an injury on my left shoulder, and it was kind of, you know, putting a dent into my life. And I went to physical therapy for 9 months. And, you know, I did everything the doctors recommended. I had like this scan done, and they were like, yeah, you're hurt, but like you're not hurt, and you don't need surgery, but yeah, it's gonna hurt for a while, but shoulders take a long time to heal. So you have to find ways to help yourself, basically. I'm like, oh, great. Okay.
Cool. Thanks. Very helpful.
That happened with my back too, with my scoliosis. I was like, thanks, besties. Okay.
I'm not going to go into full rant about it, but I do love that our healthcare system's like, you got this. And I'm like, no, that's why I came here. And they're like, have some Advil, buy. That's $200. And I'm like, I could buy this for $20 for like a bottle, $20 with inflation. So
yeah, it's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
They're like, good luck.
So I was doing physical therapy, and at the end of it, like most of my shoulder was working, but I was still getting like a lot of inflammation, and it was just, you know, wasn't exactly where I wanted it to be.
Yeah. It's not back to full functionality.
Yeah. So fed up, I did a petition to Hekate, and I was like, hey, like, I need healing, and I need it bad. Like, I like this is bad. Like my shoulder is not healed. It's not where I want it to be. It's been 9 months.
Yeah.
Why am I not healing as much as I should be? And so I petitioned her. I'm like, can you please lead me to the healing that I need? And within a few days, a friend of mine invited me out to my first sound bath, and I experienced the sounds from the crystal bowls and the gong and the chimes, and it was a really amazing experience for my first time.
Yeah.
And there's at the end, or towards the end, there's a silent period where you kind of just like rest and absorb, and just like, this is where it's the final process of it is within the silence of contemplation, where things start to come together. And so in the silence, I was laying down, and I could feel this sensation of like electricity going from my palms up my arms, through my body, and down my feet as well. And I was feeling this thing happen. But then I felt the vibration. And at first, I thought it was a vibration, like footsteps of the sound healer coming towards me. But then I had a vision of Hekate. She came down at my ear, and she told me, "You are exactly where you need to be." And when she said that, I got more like intense pulses that went from my hands into where my injury in my shoulder was. And it was a very, very focused sensation in my shoulder. And the sound healer like told us to like envision ourselves healed. And so I was envisioning myself like out in the range and being able to shoot like comfortably, and being able to hold the babies comfortably, because I was a nanny at the time. So I was like guiding the energy, but it was, she answered me, and the way that she said it was like, "You are exactly where you need to be." And it wasn't like physically this is where I needed to be, but I think what she meant was like, this is a mindset that you need to be in order to heal.
It
So
may have been a little bit physical, of just like you're in the right place at the right time to learn this as well, but
yeah. So after that experience, we all came out of it, and I told her, the sound healer, what had happened, and she's like, "Oh, you had a healing." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That's really cool.
She's like, so when that happens, we call it a healing. And it's really amazing. And it was like a cellular massage. It's just so good.
I mean, these sci-fi shows, they have like, things like sonic showers, where basically it's kind of the same concept, I think. They may not explicitly say that, but like in that way, like sonic shower, that's what that would be, So I had never like kind of put those two things together before, where I'm like, oh, that is basically what that would be, is that it would just be sound to, clean the body and stuff.
Yeah. So is that what you would say that sound healing is? Is its frequencies like
kind of cleansing you, mind, body, spirit?
Yeah, so it's something, it's a harmonious experience, and it gently awakens all parts of ourselves, our body, mind, soul, spirit, to facilitate healing and transformation. And sound healing works on a multidimensional level. Yeah. So yeah, so it's a very transformative, complementary therapy. And we use all kinds of instruments for it.
Is it for someone like at home listening who also like doesn't have experience with this, is there like something you would recommend as like a first thing to try, just to like have someone step their toe into it a little bit?
So I mean, outside of books,
if there's like a video of like a sound for someone to first just kind of experience it, to like hear it and see what it does to them, or something like that too.
Yeah, you can go on YouTube and type up sound bath, frequency for the heart chakra, or and a lot of them are kind of themed and kind of experiment in that way.
So it doesn't have to be like a specific one. Like any of them, you can look up whatever theme you're looking for.
Yeah, whatever suits your boat. But I recommend people actually get it done.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
in person.
But if people like are nervous about that and they want to test it first, I'm like, okay, look this up on YouTube.
Oh god, human interaction. That's
I know some people are like, let me try this out before I go full in and get a person to do this for me. That's why I'm like, what should they like maybe look up for the first time?
I think too. Nicole did this like kind of experiment with me. I was at home one day. It was my day off, and I was messaging Nicole. And she had messaged me and was like, you should try this. And it was a meditation that she was doing in a book. What was the book that you and I read, that you had read that meditation to me, Nicole? Do you remember?
It's The Healing Power of Sound.
So Nicole read for me, because I learn best through audio. So Nicole and I both have taken Sorcery to Hekate, which also comes out in February by Jason Miller. Definitely take it if you're interested in about learning in depth about
totally
Hekate.
Worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it. Definitely changed my life.
Changed my life in so many ways.
Yeah. So Sorcery of Hekate by Jason Miller is just so fantastic. But so Nicole and I were messaging about this, and she recommended that I do this. And so I will often audio transcribe for myself, like guided meditations from occult books. But so I asked Nicole if she could read this guided meditation to do, and it was about sound healing. And so in the guided meditation, it was change the tone of like, you see something scary and you go, ah, and then change it into,
that release.
Yeah. And
because as much as I've never done this makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I haven't gotten into it, honestly.
Alyx, it's so great. And I
feel like it'd be up my
Alyx
alley.
and I live together, and honestly, the fact that like you don't know that I do half the stuff.
I hear it, but I'm like
you're recording.
Calla's doing Calla things in the other room. It's not my business.
Yeah, and
I just hear this like and then from the other room, and I'm just like, I'm sitting here editing videos like, nice.
Yeah, Calla's doing Calla things. I've got my meditation music going on, and I'm doing my offerings, and I'm dancing to Artemis right now. Everything's fine. But so I was just saying, that was last night, Nicole. But so Nicole sent me her transcribed audio from this book, and I did that where it was like to and I played a healing frequency in the background, and I felt the great fear that I had of my core abandonment issues come up. And it was like the primal fear that you have of losing everyone around you.
Yeah.
And it was
my God. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like and I like, and it's sorry to get a little dark.
This is so up my alley, because like, not to dump too much, but like I've been doing a lot of EMDR in therapy, which is rapid eye movements, which also like helps you push things where it's long-term memory and it doesn't hurt you anymore. So it sounds like this is but sound.
Yes. So the sound that I did sounded exactly like my grandmother's scream when she found out my brother died.
Wow.
Like, not to get too dark, sorry, but like it was like that.
Welcome to Deep Talk.
Yeah, sorry, Deep Talk. Full Metal Trauma. What did I say?
What was it?
Full Trauma Alchemy.
Full Trauma Alchemist or something.
I'm a huge anime nerd, and so is my partner. But so the primal noise that I made was the and it was the fear of losing everyone around me and my core abandonment issues coming up, and then matching it to the holy frequency of the sound audio or the sound frequency that Nicole recommended that I play.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Full Trauma Alchemist.
Yeah, Full Trauma Alchemist. Thank you, Alex. And the release that I felt was the transmutation of energies of that primal fear that we feel into something divine and holy. And
that is like that pretty much exactly what I feel when I do EMDR. It's taking something that hurts such a deep level and turning into feeling like you're being covered in glowing golden honey. Is the only way I can describe it, where it's just dripping down your being and just soaking in. You know Sheryl Crow's I Want to Soak Up the Sun? Yeah. It's that, but in a literal physical, emotional sense.
And I think that's what I felt it was like that.
It soaks into your bones.
It was sharp and so just black and harsh, but then it was transmuted into something pure and liminal and golden and silver.
Transmutated, if you want to get full trauma alchemist.
Yes,
here.
full trauma alchemist here. And Nicole, you and I have talked about this of like, I feel like even I had that predisposition of, sound healing, acupuncture is very woohoo new age. But that I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense.
So that's the funny thing. I've never tried it because I was like, it's this new age thing. Like, I don't know a lot about it. And
Alex, that was the most horrible Monday I've ever felt in my life.
Well, I was like, I don't know enough about it. Like, I don't know this applies to my life.
It's great, but terrible.
What I have experienced that I just remembered through talking about this is when I was in Denver last year, it was this big wild show, and one of the things that happened there was a drone choir, which if you've never experienced a drone choir, at least this one. So drone choirs, normally everyone has a different note and they've got headphones in and they're all harmonizing, but they're all separated. And this one, they were separated and they were walking around the room. So people were joining in who could not hear the notes, but they would harmonize with the person that they could hear. And so they were walking around, stepping around, and people would join in with them. And so it was just like, it would change through these different notes. And you could feel sort of the whole community starting to slowly harmonize and kind of synchronize on this same frequency. And it was just like such a release when it was just like, and it ended. Yeah. Where it was just like, oh, okay, we've all kind of aligned and we're all on the same page now. Yeah. Even though we haven't spoken a word, all we've done is
I think that reminds me of what you and I've talked about, Nicole, of like you doing some of your mantras in the morning. It's like you feel being connected to the community. And I think what you've mentioned in your sound healing practice, Nicole, of like tapping into that full holistic approach of like tapping into the world and that whole community sphere. Is that kind of what you would say with Alex's experience?
Oh, we might have lost you again. Oh, no. Nicole, are you with us?
All the Zoom.
Oh, the call actually dropped that time. Well, we're at the end of the hour, so I guess we'll wrap here. We've got so many more questions for Nicole, but...
that just means we'll have to have her back.
We'll have her back because we got through like 3 of our 11 questions that we had pre-typed out, which was even with room for improvisation. So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and sign off from Strange Talk for the night because we lost Nicole, and I'm going to call her back after this to make sure she's good.
Yeah. I messaged her.
Calla, do you know where can people, is there a way that people can check out things Nicole is working on?
Nicole is very active on Facebook. Her and her husband both do wonderful magic boxes that coincide with ceremonial magic. Yeah. And so definitely look out for her online. And I wrote about my full experience of
on the
doing her
yesterday,
ritual of the introductory to Artemis on my blog, The Contemporary Mystic. Yeah. So definitely check it out there.
Call her back. I'm going to ask her if there's some way that I should check out some sound healing so I can check it out before we talk to her again. Oh,
she just called me. She was like, OMG, no.
So, okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and sign up from Strange Talk because we're at the top of the hour, and we'll have her back for another episode because we have so many more questions. So, yes. We're going to go ahead and sign off. Good night.
And good luck.
You are listening to Radio Artifact on 1660 AM in Northside and 91.7 FM HD to WVXU in Cincinnati.